Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well today. Coming at you with the next excerpt of my first novel in a series, Black and White Odyssey of Eden, continuing where I left off last time. So let's have at this. After a few moments, Thomas collected himself with the remaining strength he had, soul shattered from what had happened only seconds earlier. This man will pay for what he did, he thought. He stood up, as if in a drunken stupor, swayed from side to side as he walked down the corridor. He had underestimated just how exhausted he was. His vision was blurring, let alone the fact that he could hardly walk. As he reached the end of the corridor, about 100 feet underground, another set of large metal doors descended from the ceiling and sealed off the path behind him. A faint light shined from an entryway in front of him, to his right. The room was pitch black, with no discernible edges. The scientist was to the right, 20 feet in front of him, typing on a small console that lit his face in contrast to his surroundings, the source of what Thomas saw through the entryway. The blackness then faded, and a room with a small dining table and 4 chairs was revealed. A gurney with wire leads scattered about it was behind the scientist. The scientist walked slowly away from the console, staggering as he did. He took off the gas mask and threw it to the side. He walked to another entryway, the path to the small room that had the bed and dresser in it from before, putting his hand out on the wall for support. Back still turned to Thomas. He was silently swallowing gigantic gulps of air, sweating profusely. His exhaustion was only in small part physical. The constant flow of adrenaline through his veins, fed by the stress of a paper-thin margin of error he straddled to get Thomas to where he was now, taxed him more than he had ever experienced. The excitement that he had succeeded was matched only by his terror that something would bubble up to circumvent it. What the hell is this? Thomas thought. Where am I? As he undressed, down to his underwear, he stared at the ground, wide-eyed in bewilderment. The scientist, that is. They died, Thomas, but you didn't, he said, lying his sweat-drenched body upon his bed. Lying his sweat-drenched body upon his bed. He curled his emaciated form into a ball, turned towards the wall, and passed out, hoping that, as he closed his eyes, he could wish away the possibility of losing what he had worked so hard to gain. As if he were a baby playing peekaboo with his parents, unaware that the world could exist if he weren't looking at it, he prayed his unconscious mind would win over the universe. No more than a moment passed before a deafening boom erupted, shaking the walls violently as dust and small chunks of rock fell from the ceiling. The dim lights illuminating the room flickered. Thomas knew what that sound was, the sinking feeling already in his stomach developing into a gut-wrenching knot. The scientist remained undisturbed, too acclimated to oblivion to even notice. The bomb had dropped. The two of them had missed it by a mere 3 minutes. Everything I ever cared for is now gone, he whispered. What does it matter that I survived? There's nothing left to live for. That's it for this section. I'll come at you with the next one later. Peace.